Some big news broke yesterday over at my old employer, NBC and MSNBC. So NBC News chairman Andy Lack, who, full disclosure, is the individual who canceled my show there and is the reason that I was let go, is stepping down amid major restructuring. Of course, his tenure was fairly controversial. He was involved in the Access Hollywood situation where they got scooped on their own tape. He was involved in the quashing of Ronan Farrow's reporting on Harvey Weinstein. And in fact, Ronan's producer, Rich McHugh, who we've had on this show here, who really, we're just getting to know him, but he really seems like a stand-up guy and was working with Ronan, obviously, on that story, and is now working on reporting on the Tara Reade allegations. He was on with Tucker Carlson last night responding to these developments. Let's take a listen.
There's new management at the top, and so they've decided, we're going to try and get away from this black eye who presided over the Harvey Weinstein story and the Lauer disgrace and all of it. So this is a good first step, I should say.
Yes.
But I should point out that I've spoken to a number of women, victims who've worked at NBC, and they say, the fact that this Andy Lack gets to walk out of the building, on his own accord is a disgrace.
So true.
He's right, because as Rich was treated so terribly by NBC News. I encourage everybody to go read Ronan Farrow's book. Just you have to hear the step-by-step, the phone calls, how they were responding to Harvey Weinstein, how they were all working in order to kill Ronan and Rich's reporting into many of these Harvey Weinstein reports. It will make your blood chill to learn how power in this country really works. It's a step-by-step process. And he's right. It's a disgrace that Andy Lack gets to walk out of there when Matt Lauer victims and all. He probably walked out with a $20 million bonus or something like that.
He's going to be just fine. Yeah, don't weep for him, ultimately.
Yeah, I'm not going to weep for Andy Lack whatsoever. But and look, it's long overdue, which is not a single head has rolled at NBC because of Harvey Weinstein. Not a single head has rolled at ABC because of the Jeffrey Epstein thing. These people get away with it. They get away with it every single day. They hope that you and I and whomever forget. And at the end of the day, this is a one-day story. Andy Lack is going to be rich, and he's going to be living in the Hamptons or wherever he is, and he's going to be just fine.
Well, there's another piece to this that Rich actually broke, as far as I know, with Tucker there last night, which is that apparently the New York Attorney General is investigating NBC based on sexual harassment allegations. Let's listen to what Rich had to say about that.
I have heard that the New York Attorney General's office is investigating NBC on sexual abuse, sexual harassment claims, and no one's been charged, but that people have come in and been interviewed, NBC News staffers, producers, executives, and talent. Have you heard anything about this?
Yes, I have, Tucker. That is true. I'm aware of it. I've been looking into it for a story. It was the New York Attorney General's office, civil division. So, we're not sure if it could lead to anything criminal, but I do know that they've been looking into this and interviewing employees over a number of months.
So we don't know where that is ultimately going to go, but we do know, based on the sort of media reporting here, that it doesn't look like it's just going to be Andy Lack. Noah Oppenheim, who was another Ronan Farrow adversary there, may well be out. Other people do not look like they are on stable ground. So they're describing this as a sort of major shakeup moment right now for NBC.
And what Rich mentioned there is that this is the civil rights division, which makes it even more dicey for NBC. But again, it's 2020. It's been 3 years since this stuff happened. And you can't, it's only now that Comcast decides to get involved in order to make heads roll and have Andy Lack step down, only after the New York Attorney General's office. Megyn Kelly has been excellent on this, saying that NBC is one of the only places that haven't released many of these victims from their NDAs and allowing them to speak out. How many people out there who were victimized by Matt Lauer and by other executives within NBC or suffered from this culture? We have no idea because of these people.
Well, and here's where it all comes together, too. It's not just about the treatment of the employees and the women that work there, which matters a lot and is incredibly important. It also has an overflow effect into what and when and how they report. Part of the allegations from Ronan Farrow was that their nervousness around reporting on Harvey Weinstein was because of their own messy laundry and the fact that they were vulnerable on these issues too. So the fact that they allegedly had this same culture and problems with Matt Lauer and all of that made them more reluctant to hold other powerful men's feet to the fire when they were credibly accused. And of course, now we're watching what's happening with Joe Biden and the fact that they, have barely at all covered it, that they give Joe a platform long before they give Tara a platform, that they allow him to frame the story and how that all comes out. These things have massive reverberating effects in terms of not only the culture within that company, but in what and when and how they decide to cover the news.
That's exactly right. All right. Tomorrow on Rising, Oren Cass, my friend, he's going to tell us about the official launch of American Compass.
I would like the official lunch as well.
I also want that. For the record to my bosses.
Young Turks. Jonathan Larson, he's going to bring us his latest reporting. He's got some bombshell stuff on corporate wrongdoing. Do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. We always appreciate you all. Have a fabulous day.